This is the news in brief from the United Nations. Catastrophic and famine-like conditions hang over Afghanistan's farmers and herders, whose needs continue to worsen with the onset of winter, UN humanitarians said on Friday. According to the Food and Agricultural Organization FAO, 18.8 million Afghans are unable to feed themselves every day, and this is set to rise to nearly 23 million by the end of the year, including in major urban centres. Richard Trenchard, FAO representative in Afghanistan, said that widespread drought had left families with nothing to eat during the current lean season after harvests were down 80 to 90%. He called for a massive increase in humanitarian assistance after seeing for himself the scale of suffering on the streets of rural Herat.
The only food they have is food that people give them as they pass by, etc. It's cold there. It's a tough situation. What terrifies me is the thought of that displacement. Just if the rural livelihoods collapse, then we'll see massive displacement.
FAO urgently needs $115 million to reach 5 million men, women and children this winter and next spring. Of this amount, $1 out of every $5 will directly support Afghan women. Mandatory COVID-19 vaccination rulings by countries should follow a risk-based approach while also being the least intrusive and non-discriminatory public health strategy on offer. The development comes amid rising numbers of coronavirus infections and deaths in Europe. On Friday, Austria announced the reintroduction of full lockdown measures along with the requirement that the whole population should get vaccinated by February. In Geneva, Fadela Shaib from the World Health Organization said that it was up to national governments to decide whether vaccinations should be mandatory, noting that the agency recommended highlighting the benefits of immunisation rather than imposing them. That message was echoed by the UN Human Rights Office, OHCHR. His spokesperson, Liz Throssell.
They really should use all measures available to encourage people to get vaccinated in the first place. That includes public information campaigns, and particularly those aimed at communities and groups that are marginalised or have a higher rate of vaccine hesitancy.
To Madagascar, where UN aid teams insist that relief funding needs to rise by 200% to keep famine at bay in the south of the country. More than 900,000 people have received assistance since the start of the year, including food and livelihood support, as Malagasy families endure the worst drought in decades. The new appeal for funding amounts to $231 million. Over half has already been contributed by donors, but more is needed to deliver food, water, health services and life-saving nutrition to nearly 1.3 million people in the Grand Sud. The UN Coordination Office, OCHA, explained on Friday that the drought has made it impossible for people to grow their own food and that many are on the brink of the world's first climate change famine. Among those most in need, 28,000 face life-threatening famine-like conditions. Daniel Johnson, UN News.